Okay. Hi, Kimmy. Oh, can you hear me? Shoot. I forgot to check on my volume first. Okay, my volume's good. I think my volume's good. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm here. I'm feeling blinded. I just sat out in the sun for a few minutes, and now my glasses have gone all sunglassy, and I feel like I'm in the dark, but that's okay. That's okay. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited. I want lots of things I want to tell you about. I'm Casey Christensen. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator located in West Kelowna, where the sun has come out and it's gorgeous. I just on Saturday, this is Monday, right? On Saturday, I went to a retreat, a one-day card making retreat with another Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I made some of the most gorgeous, gorgeous cards. I absolutely love them. These were like make and takes, right? So you just kind of a fun fold one there. It was Heather Cooper. She's an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here. So I made those two. And I made this one, and I'd love to tell you what all the stamp sets are, but at the moment they escape me. But they're very pretty. They're very pretty. And then I made this one, which I'm still working on. This is a three-dimensional kind of thing. It stands up on a mantle or whatever, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And these are all current things in the catalog, and eventually I'll figure them all out. I haven't figured them all out yet, but I kind of know that these two, I have to buy these two now. This one's a three-dimensional sort of a tulip. It's got a really neat little fold up there. So I'm looking those up, and I'm probably going to buy them, and then we can have fun and play with them in here. It was a wonderful day. It was like top-notch. Everything was beautifully done. I would do that again in a heartbeat. It was from 9 in the morning till 9 at night, kind of like back in the day of Quilt Till You Wilt, you know. And it was great fun. So today, I want to show you a couple things. I want to do a masculine card today, just because masculine cards are not something I do a lot of. And in fact, I'm looking at, this is called He's the Man, and this is a bundle or a suite, and it's got the DSP and all the different things. However, I did not order that. I ordered the paper only, and I really, really am fond of the paper, so I thought I'd show you something today that I did with the paper. The paper comes with, I'll need you to look here, because a smarter person wouldn't have taken all the components off the paper, but I did. So I don't have the paper, the full sheet of paper to show you, but I wanted to show you these things that come with this set. They're really neat. They're like little sticker things that come out. So you get all this paper, double-sided paper. The colors are crushed curry, Cajun craze, soft succulent, Sahara sand, early espresso, and basic black. And then you get all these little things. So what I did was, after I took them off the sheet, I laid them out so you can kind of see them here. Aren't they fun? These are little elements that you get with the paper. They just pop out. There's a couple of really neat ones that almost make the card by themselves. I love this one. This is like a piece of paper that's been torn off a notepad. And then all kinds of fun little things that you can add to your card. So I made this card this afternoon. This is using your black cardstock. I'll put a white card in there. Your black cardstock. I'm using my deckled dies, my deckled rectangles, which I'm absolutely in love with, and a sampling of the paper that comes in this paper package, and then one of these for my center bit here. And that's just so dead simple, right? A little bit of DSP. Like if you buy the DSP, there's no end to the number of cards that you can make just using these. Don't have to worry about doing sentiment bits, using cardstock, the DSP, and this is all DSP as well. So simple to make such a cute card, right? With you, I'm never lost. I love that sentiment, actually, because that's kind of me in a nutshell. I get lost all the time. I've gotten better. It used to be I would get lost in Home Depot, and I'd stand where I am and holler for my husband, and I think he probably found that a little embarrassing, but I'm getting better at not getting lost anymore. But yeah, how cute is that? I absolutely love this card, and that's all it is some 3/4 inch pieces, strips of paper, right, that I just cut a whole bunch of them, right? So all different sizes and stuff like that. and my deckled dies, which I'm absolutely crazy about. These are the deckled rectangles. And there you go. And you know what? You don't need the deckled rectangles. Simply cutting rectangles with your trimmer. You've got all of this stuff in here, some cardstock and some DSP, and boom, you have a ton of masculine cards at your disposal. Okay, so that's the one I made from the paper. So let's tidy this little mess up that I made. And I'm gonna do a masculine card using that paper, but I'm going to use the Brewed for You stamp set here. We have a lot of beer drinkers in the family, and now, not in the family, but in the friendship circle. And now, being that we're in Kelowna, we seem to have quite a few wine drinking people here, myself being one of them. We just went yesterday for our pickup party at Mount Boucherie Winery. We go there twice a year. We pick up 6 bottles, and you go and you have some delicious tastings and hors d'oeuvres, and it's really a fun afternoon. So let me do this right side up. And actually, if you don't mind my messy paper, let me do this so I can see my measurements better. That's just notes for what I'm using today. So I'm going to start off with a piece of, oh, and I know what I did. Let me just show you this stamp set, by the way, since I have you. This is what we're going to work on today, is this, okay? So I made myself a lovely, and this is the bundle, Brewed for You bundle. It's $52, and I think if you're, you know, it's got wine, it's got beer, it's just kind of covers all the bases for a cute man's card, or your girlfriends, your wine drinking girlfriends, whatever, your beer drinking girlfriends. I'm a beer drinking girlfriend. So I made this so that you could see all the components of this set. So there's lots of variations in what you can do with this. You can stamp out your, for example, your wine. You can stamp out your wine, or if you want really rich color, you can cut out your wine, and it has little bubbles in the wine. You can cut it out of some wine-colored cardstock, and it's got little bubbles in here. Same with this. This piece behind here, I cut out my mug, but I cut the little holes in the mug and then put a piece of cardstock underneath, and it shows the little bubbles and stuff. And then you got your frothy stuff, and these are hops, and who knew? I didn't, but there you go. These are hops. So all the dies and stamps here, there's lots of different things that you can do with this set. So hi Karen, nice to see you. So today's a beer day. It's not even Friday. It's usually Friday's a beer day, but today's a beer day just because we can, right? So we're going to start out with a piece of black cardstock, and we're just going to do our usual 8.5 by 5.5, and then folded at 4 1/4, and that's going to be our first layer. Okay. Now I had mentioned before, unfortunately I can't do it on the mini, but I mentioned to you before how crazy I am about these deckled dies. And also look at my magnetic sheet already. Okay, I spent the whole weekend at this one-day retreat, and I feel like I've really gotten some use out of that magnetic sheet. It is awesome. It really is most awesome. So I'm gonna take a piece of this is a piece of the DSP from the DSP package I just showed you. This He's the Man DSP, and all of it's just sort of manly prints and all kinds of fun things. So I'm going to use my deckled die, because now that I've got my deckled rectangles, just plain cutting around the edges isn't working for me anymore. So I need to get fancy. I just need to get fancy. All right. So I'm hoping my plan will work. I think it will. But I had an idea for this. So there's my deckled rectangle bit. Can't get it off of there, but that's okay. It's stuck on there pretty good. Once it cuts, because it's a self-healing board, once it cuts, it's stuck down there pretty good. Okay, so let's put that aside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this onto my trimmer, and I'm simply going to cut it. And I'm not sure at where. Where am I going to cut it at? Let's cut it at about, let's cut it at 1.5. Right about at 1.5, I think we'll be good. We're just going to give that a little cut there at 1.5. And now one of the things that kind of bothers me about this paper right now, and if I had a brown pen, I would use it. For some reason with this paper, because it's white at its core, you know, it's dark brown on this side, it's lighter brown on this side, but at its core, it's white. And that kind of bothers me a little bit. I don't like that I can see the whiteness of it. So I just sort of slam it down a little bit with my bone folder. And I'll do the same on the other side. And it kind of helps. The other thing you can do, I don't have a brown marker, but the other thing you can do is you could take a brown marker and just mark along the edge here, and then this white would be quite a bit less noticeable. So there's my basic concept of my card, but you know what? That looks a little dull to me. Let's do something else. Let's do something else. I'm just trying to locate my, there it is. I'm wondering about putting some of this behind. I think that looks a little dull. So let's just see. We can try it, right? Doesn't hurt to try. So let's just cut this. This is you'd think I'd know this one because it's my favorite color, crushed curry. So I am going to cut that at the 5.5 or 4.25 by 5.5. And then, as you know, this is how I roll. From that, I'm going to cut 1 notch, okay? Because my piece of this was cut 2 notches. So I'm going to cut this 1 notch on each side. Yes, you probably could, Karen. You probably could. But if you know me and ink pads, we don't get along all that well. We end up with them in our lap, stuck to our arm, you know. So I don't take any chances when it comes to stuff like that. But probably a really good idea. Yes, you could do that. Why not? So let's see what this would look like if I put this on here. And just give it a little extra color. Yeah, I like that better. And we're coming back to our beer as well, right? So our beer is going to be, our beer is going to factor in there too with the color of our beer. So let's take I'm just going to put this right down on the card. Just felt like it needed a little extra pop there. It didn't quite do it for me going right down onto the black cardstock. But I felt like the black cardstock was necessary because after all, we're making a masculine card here. And with these extra bits, Karen, I don't know if you got to see the extra bits, but if you look in the catalog, you'll see that when you buy this this DSP, it comes with 2 sheets of stickers inside, and they are gorgeous. They're just gorgeous. All kinds of great sentiments and bits and pieces. I just put mine away, but I'll show you the card I did. I don't know if you saw this or not, but this is using one of the stickers that came in the thing. For this, I just used your cardstock, 2 deckled bits here, and the strips of the DSP. But all this kind of stuff, there's like a whole array of great little stickers. Not stickers, they don't stick, but great little cutouts that come in that paper with all kinds of different great shapes and sayings and different things. So we're probably going to use one of those on this card too, but in the meantime, we're just going to get going with this. So now what I want to do is I want this piece to go on the one side. Just about like that. Okay. And then this piece, we're just going to flip it. This is the same piece of paper that I cut, and then I'm flipping. Okay? Okay, same sort of thing. So we're going to stick that down. It's just a great sort of a, why isn't this working? It's just a great sort of a manly kind of color scheme going on there. And the paper's really fun. Okay, there's my two pieces. So let me just take a minute and show you this paper because it's just really, really gorgeous. So this is the piece I used, and on the flip side, you've got this great sort of a subtle piece. Just get that out of the way. And then this one is gorgeous. I love this paper. I love all of it, to be honest. And little, this is kind of ultra subtle, right? You could use this for just about anything. And then ties and glasses and shoes and things. And a nice sort of crisscross looking or checkered almost looking piece. This I love. Look at this. This is all barbecuing stuff. And then another subtle on the back. Camping. I don't know about you guys, but we're super campers. We're going away this weekend, so, and another sort of a brown, just kind of a nice, it reminds me of fabric. It actually looks like a fabric design. And there's another piece of that. So really great, pieces for masculine cards, right? So now we're going to take this, time to get out the Stamparatus, and we're going to make some beers here. And so you'll see from here, you have several options as to how you want to do your drinks. You can stamp them. So there's my drink glass. So you get this piece here that you can stamp with ink for the filling of your drink glass, or you can use the stamp and stamp it right on the glass. And all of these are the same, right? So you get kind of three ways to do it. Okay, you can, like the wine one too, you can stamp that on cardstock and then stick it to the wine glass with dimensionals. You can cut it out, die cut it with like a Mary Merlot or a wine colored thing. See, you've got little bubbles in it, and stick that to it. There's different ways that you can do it, but we're going to do the beer stein here. We're going to do some beers. So we've got some nice foam, beer foam, and let's get some paper, which I had in my hand up until 1 second ago. There we go. So we got a few things to do here. So let's start with we're going to make 3 mugs of beer. So let's start there. Okay. Hi, Dorothy. Oh, we couldn't have that, Dorothy. You got to get here. We're having a lot of fun today with this Brewed for You and using this new He's the Man DSP that comes with all kinds of cutouts, of pre-made cutouts for your sentiments and whatnot. I wished I'd kept them on the sheet. I cut mine out not cut them out, but I punched them out right away and put them in a little container here. I should have kept them on the sheet because they're adorable. But look in the catalog and you'll see what you get with that paper. It's pretty phenomenal. I really like it. So we're going to use some Memento to make our mug, and we want to make 3 of them. Just pop my plate down. You know, you can pop your Stamparatus plate down to give yourself some more. And then one more. If I can fit one more on there, I think I can. I think I can. Yes, I can. So we're going to do that. And that's our, oh, that was a little messy. Let's see how this one turns out. I feel like it looks a little messy, but I'm just going to tap it gingerly and see if it still stamps out nicely. Yeah, it's okay. Just going to have to wait for a minute for it to dry, because right now I think it would probably smudge if I tried to work with it. So there's my 3 glasses of beer. Okay. And then we want to have some, let me give that a little wipe. And we want to have some foam. There's big foam and little foam. So the big foam's meant for the big mug of beer. And the little foam is for the glass of beer. So let's get some foam. And I don't think I want to do that foam in Memento. I think I'd like to do it in the gray, because I think the Memento might be a little harsh. So let's put that back right away so that we know where it is for next time. And here's my foam. Okay. So we'll just make a foam. Put this back on the top. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to try it first. I think black is too harsh. So first I'm going to try it with smoky slate and see how it looks. I don't want it to look quite as harsh as the black. And now that I have smoky slate everywhere, let's just find a paper towel, because I forgot to put a stamp pad under there to keep my stamping level. So let's do that now. And let's see how this is going to look. I just want it to be kind of a subtle, light. Yeah, I think that works. I think I like that. So I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to move this down to there's 2. Isn't that cute? I love that. Oh yes, that's great. That's great. It's like the Italians who drink their wine in juice glasses, right? Or the British who drink their tea in water glasses. Well, some, not all British, but some do. I know some that do. A little glass of tea. Brilliant. Okay. Let's clean that up a little bit. And then we're going to do some cutting. So I am going to turn around and use my big cutter, only because I have my magnetic plate now, and it just makes such a world of difference, and I can't wait till it comes out for the little machine. But in the meantime, I'm going to, now this is going to be a 2-part cutting. I'll show you what I mean by that. So here's my magnetic plate. It already looks like it's 100 years old, because I've used it so much on the weekend where I went to a one-day retreat. It was absolutely fabulous. So I'm going to get my bits here and my dies. Let's put that back before we lose it, and get my dies out. We're going to cut those as well. And it's going to be a bit of a tricky cut, but we're going to cross our fingers and hope it all goes well. Let's do that, shall we? All right, so here's my foam, and I'm just going to pop my element on. This magnetic plate is the best thing. It's just the best thing. I'm so jazzed about it. I've used it to death. I think I'm probably going to have to get another one. But I really, it is apparently going to be available for the small machine, and I just really have my heart set on it. So, okay, so let's get our components ready. Look at my foam. That's so cute. One foam. And there is zero movement with this magnetic plate, people. Zero. Zero. So it really is something you want to have. Okie doke. We get a couple of foams there. And one more. I know some of you have had their Big Shots for a long time. It had a magnetic plate. But the thing about it was that the magnet wouldn't sit exactly where you wanted it to every time. Sometimes it would bounce all by itself. So because the magnet wasn't even inside the plate. And I still have that, and I got to say I do use it from time to time, depending on what I'm doing. But this is so brilliant. No more washi tape. It's just right there for you. Okay, so this next bit's going to be a little tricky. I tried it once, and it worked out pretty good. So let's just do this. So this is going to be a 2-part die cut. Sounds crazy, right? So we're going to first take our mug. So let's just drop our mug down there. All right. Now we're going to take this other little bit that looks like bars. It really looks like bars. It's this guy right here. Okay. And it does. It just looks like bars. And I don't know if there's any purpose for those bars, but what we're going to do is this. So let's get on with that, and I'll show you. And you're just going to drop that down. And you're going to actually do that first and then put your mug on. You're going to drop that down and center it as well as you can over top of the lines in the mug. I lost my plate. Oh, there we go. Over top of the lines in the mug. All right? And you know what? You can't see through it. So you're kind of relying on yourself getting it in the right spot. But if you don't get it in the right spot, I absolutely refuse to beat myself up over it. It's good. Just look at that. How cool, right? There's my mug. There's my mug. So these little bits are, I have no idea. So let's do that again. Put your centerpiece down first. And just sort of plant it where you think it belongs. And lay your, oh, and then I moved it. That was very clever of me. Very clever. There we go. Mug number 2. Mug number 2. And let's do mug number 3. And then we'll get to the beer part. See how easy that is with the magnetic plate? I'm not kidding. It is the best thing. I do drink beer. I'm not going to say I'm a beer drinker per se, but I do on a really, really hot afternoon when we're out in the garden. I will stop at around 3:30 and have 1 glass of light beer. Or who am I kidding? I don't use a glass. 1 can of light beer. And that's about it for me. But I do think these mugs are so cute. How about root beer mugs? They go, oh, I think I moved that one when I put the plate on. Hang on a second. It could be like root beer. You could put dark brown. I'll show you when we put the beer in the glass. I'll show you. You could put, you could use like dark brown paper and have root beer. Root beer in a mug. Why not, right? This retreat I went to, oh my gosh, I wish any of you lived closer so you could go to it with me. I wasn't lonely per se, but I didn't know anyone. And I sat at a table by myself, which was fine. That was fine because I did notice that it got pretty noisy down the other end of the room. So, you know, I was pretty okay with having a table by myself. But it would have been fun to do with somebody, with a friend. But it was such a good time. It was from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. It went so fast. There was lots of games, lots of door prizes, lots of good food. Lunch and dinner was included, and it was a whole 5 minutes away from my home. So the good news was if I forgot anything, I could always come back. but I managed not to forget anything. And actually, my husband's pretty good. If I forget something, he'll always pop it down. So so I have my beers. Next, I want to get my beer, my actual beer. So that's going to be this one here. This die is that the right one for that? Yes. You'll see that these dies here are for the contents of whatever it is you're drinking, right? So this one's for wine, or as Karen was saying, it's also a good beer glass in Europe. Did you say? Wine in a mug, why not? Wine not. That would be like a whole bottle though, wouldn't it, Dorothy? Not that I'm criticizing. A whole bottle of wine in a mug doesn't sound all that bad on some days. But that would be a whole bottle of wine. So I'm doing the beer here, and you see it's got little bubbles in it. The die cuts out little bubbles, which I think is really cool. Doesn't really cut them out, it just sort of smashes them down. So let's make ourselves some beer. This is where, I've heard tell of rich people who buy like 4 and 5 sets of every Stampin' Up set that they get. And I get that now. Wouldn't it be nice to have like 3 or 4 of those dies that you could just pop them all in at once? And there are people out there that do that, There are. They buy more than one, so they've got more than one set of dies. So here's our cute little beer contents. And you always get this little piece at the top. You're always going to get this little cut at the top, and do with that as you will. I'm not going to use it today. Yeah, for lunch we had these, those, yeah, I've heard of it, Karen. I don't do it, but I have heard of people doing that. I really have. We had this very trendy, like at Milestones and stuff, they have all these different bowls. And this was called a glory bowl, which sounded really weird to me, but it was delicious. It was very trendy. It was a great big huge bowl of stuff. Chicken and different kinds of rice and all kinds of stuff. So that was lunch. And then dinner was chicken pot pie, but made with phyllo pastry, which is something that I do kind of like. So, but it was really good. And desserts, lots of snacks. Oh my God, there were so many snacks. So many snacks. Okay. So there we have it with the dies, and you can see which dies. If you do like me, when you get your die set and draw around them, okay, then it's pretty obvious as to which dies belong with which glass of whatever you're having, okay? So I do draw around my dies. Otherwise, I'm never getting them back on that sheet the same way I got them off in the first place, okay? So I haven't decided if we're going to use a sentiment off here. We'll see. But let's build up our card now. So we're going to get our glasses of beer, and we have to build these, okay? So just get out your white paper glue. And all I'm going to do is a tiny bit of glue at the very top, and I mean a tiny bit of glue at the very bottom of this mug. And then I can just place my beer on there. And it's a very slim fit, by the way. It's a very slim fit. So you want to, you see? I'm going to scooch that over a little tiny bit. It's almost too slim a fit. I almost wish it had a little more to glue to, but I suppose you could tape it if you wanted to. So you got 1, 2, let's give that a little press. 1, 2, 3 glasses of beer. Okay. This one I think needs to come up a little bit. Well, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. It's good. It's good. So now let's get our frothy. I can't remember what the movie was. I watched some movie. It might have been called Leap Year. Anyways, it was a really fun movie, kind of a fun romp through Ireland. And this guy who was behind the bar, and I sort of shuddered when I saw it because I thought, no, thank you. The guy, the beer, he would fill up the beer mug, and then when it got really frothy, he stuck his elbow in it to make the froth go down. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm a little bit of a germaphobe, and that wouldn't work for me, but it was amusing to see. I don't know if that's a common practice or what, but holy smokes. I really don't need your elbow in my beer. I really don't. So this lovely little frothy bit, let me get my silicone craft sheet here. This is a great tool. Just prevents you getting glue anywhere that it doesn't belong, and the glue washes right off it like nothing. So good time to have that out. And I'm just going to glue my frothy bit down to my mug of beer. How cute is that? I mean, really, is that the cutest thing ever or what? I just love it. I know, that's what I thought, Dorothy. I thought, oh my God, I'd be having to send that back. I'm afraid I wouldn't be doing that. I'll take the foam, thank you very much. Leave your elbow out of it. Because who knows when the guy had a bath last? I mean, really, realistically, who knows? Elbows get dirty too. And I've seen some pretty grotty elbows, to be honest. Little glasses of beer. How cute. I love this. Now that I've figured it out, I have to say it was a learning curve. I don't know if it was just me or what, but I found the whole process a bit of a learning curve when I first got the set. But now I'm good with it. Now I'm good with it. So we're going to stick a glass back here, I think. And yeah, I think that looks about right. So let's use dimensionals, because why wouldn't you pop up a glass of beer, right? Or a mug of beer. My dimensionals are where again? I always think I'm so organized, and then I start doing things, and I put things over on top of other things, and then I'm not so organized anymore. But that's okay. That's okay. Might have to dig out some. Okay. So let's use these. And we'll just give that some dimensionals. I think 3 will do the trick. I want one in the middle and one at the bottom, and that's probably good. The one day card retreat that I attended yesterday, they had some silent auctions and things. Oh, a floor warden. Oh, wow. That sounds like an interesting job. Not sure I'd want that job. Not very good at telling people what to do. Okay, so there's my bit. Yeah, so all the proceeds made from this thing were for a family of refugees here from Syria. I'm not sure. So they had some silent auctions, and they had some pretty neat things in the silent auction. I went with the mindset not to spend money, and I kept to my mindset, which is good because usually I don't. Let's see. I'm going to use up some of these edges here, because Lord knows we don't want to waste them, right? So let's use up an edge. That's a little too long. Let's use up an edge over here. So yeah, the money went to refugees they're already here, living in Kelowna, I think. I don't think they're in West Kelowna. Oh, I am liking this. Careful where you put your dimensionals, remember. We don't want dimensionals on top of dimensionals. So for this one, for example, I'm going to put the dimensionals a little bit toward the bottom. Okay, and then do I want some glue or not? No, I don't really think I do. I think I'm just going to go with, yeah, I'm going to go with another dimensional in that upper corner. And then, oh, wrong corner. Wrong corner. Very clever. I need it to be in this corner. Now, I'm not going to stick this corner down until I figure out what I want to do sentiment-wise. So, let's have a look at these and see if there's something in here. These are the pre-printed ones that come with the DSP, which I think are phenomenal. So, there's quite a few options here. And let's just have a look at them for a minute and see if something jumps out and bites us. I love this little van. I love this little van so much. I wish I had a whole sheet of little vans. I do like that. Champion, it's not right. It's not the right shape. Champion's not quite the right shape. That's a bit much. That's a bit much as well. But what about this? Hope your day is a grand adventure. That's a maybe, maybe. Also a maybe, maybe. No. That seems a bit big. Do we think that's a bit big? I don't know. I like it, but it seems a bit big. And then you got cool things like arrows, right? You've got a cool thing like that. You've got barbecues, my man, more flaming stuff, strong and courageous. That's kind of neat. That's a maybe. I think that's a maybe. Best dad is cool, but it's the wrong shape, and I don't have a dad. This one's cool. You could add your own. On this one, you could do something in white with Versamark and use. No, you can't order just the sticker, and they're not stickers. They're just punch outs. No, you can't order that. I wish you could. I wish you could. But just between you and me, I'm ordering another package of paper just because I love the stickers so much. And hey, the catalog's out for 2 years, right? So by then, you know, I'm not going to end up with any left over that I wished I hadn't bought. This one would be cool. You could do, let me show you something. The smaller of these stamps, not this one. What's the one that comes to mind that has the long, what's the one I've been working with? This one here. Here's something cool to know. See this Sending Smiles? It has these little tiny narrow sayings. Well, these little sayings, you can actually manipulate them to make them curve a little bit, okay? So you could use this particular thing, use one of these and curve it a little, and do it in Versamark with white embossing powder, and this would make a gorgeous little sentiment on there, right? Not going to do that right now, but that would make a really nice sentiment there. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, you did it. No, a deer or something like that. Hooray is cool too. That would be good for a birthday. We've got nice work. That would be good if you were congratulating someone for something. You're a classic is quite nice as well, but so far my heart's going out to this strong and courageous. You've got tools. You know, you could add tools. You've got this fun finger pointing guy. This is too big, but it's very cool. And you know, you've got, this makes me think of a firefighter, and I have a couple in the family. I've got my son-in-law's there. I've got a police officer and a firefighter. So far for me, I think, well, this is cute too, but it's too much like the back of the paper. But you can add a little sentiment in that as well. I do like Holy Smokes, You're the Best. But I still think Strong and Courageous is doing it for me in terms of color and whatnot. What do you think? I really like that. I like the Hooray too. Let's visit the Hooray again. It reminds me of that stamp set with that's actually really cute too. You know what, Dorothy? I think I like the Hooray. I think it fits better in the space. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Hooray. Thank you. It's good to give things a revisit, right? Highly recommend this DSP. I mean, who doesn't have to make a masculine card from time to time? I mean, we all have to make one. So why not make one that's this beautiful, but at the same time this easy, because so much of it is done for you. Yes, I very much like the hooray. Thank you, Dorothy. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So let's get ourselves some stuff. Using up the bits here. And give that another little piece down there. Awesome. I love these little cutouts. I really think they're brilliant. I'm going to get some more paper for sure, because I really want to have. Look at that. Is that cute? I think that is adorable. I really do. And so what I have for embellishments is these rustic metallic adhesive back dots. I also have black dots, so I wasn't quite sure what was gonna work better. I also have the black dots, which I like quite a bit too. But I was thinking of the rustic ones because they're more in keeping with I don't know, with the shades that are in the card, I think. Yes, I think that's what we're going to do. So let's look at those. Isn't this fun? I mean, what a beautiful card. I mean, whether anyone drinks beer or not, you could make it an orange float. You could make an orange float out of these. You could make a root beer float, whatever. Yeah, these are cute. Okay, so let's get my take your pick tool, which I have buried. And we'll take a little guy and put it here. One little guy there, and I think I want another little guy on the opposite side as well. How cute, right? And let's put a bigger one up here, just for, you know, just for giggles. Let's just put one there. There we go. Oh, look at him. I love that. I love that so much. Right? So alternately, you can also do your, you can also stamp your mug and then use the stamp in here to stamp your beer, okay? But, you know what I found when I've seen that is that the stamp exceeds the paper of the mug. And so I kind of like this because then it doesn't do that. The stamp it's almost like a tad too big all the way around, so that when you stamp it, you end up getting the yellow color in and around the mug where you don't necessarily want it to be. But I haven't really played with it that much, you know, it's just been one of those things. And I got some new things today too. I got this, I'm really mad at myself, but this is my normal. This is what I do, people. This is me in a nutshell. I ordered this because it's not new in the catalog. It is a carryover. But every time I see a card made with that, I think, oh, I should get that. Oh, maybe I shouldn't get it. Yeah, I should get that. I love the sentiments. Adventure awaits. Hope it's your best day ever, and let your dreams set sail. I love birds. I'm all about birds. I love birds. And this sailboat with the punch is super pleasing. But guess what I did? I forgot to order the bundle, so I didn't get the punch. Make yourself a note. When you want the bundle, make sure that you use the bundle number. I'm famous for putting down the Let's Set Sail number and forgetting that it's a separate number. Each thing is separate. This has a number, the punch has a number, and then the bundle has a number. And I'm so good at forgetting to do that. So, anyways, that's okay. I can order it and it'll come. So let's do something inside here. Let's go back to my deckled guys because I love them so much. That is, if I can find them. They're here somewhere. Yes, they are. And do we want to stamp anything inside? Maybe we do. Let's get a piece of white. And I know I want to use, I think I want to use the second size down. There are 8 dies in here. When you get dies like this, you know how I like to draw around my dies so I know where everything goes? It's kind of hard to draw around these ones. So when you get dies like that, I just like to put the number of dies included on the top corner there. I know it's written on the packaging as well. The number of dies is written on the packaging. But this way, if I'm looking at it, I know if I'm missing one or if there's one lost in my space, because I should have 8 here before I put this away. Okay, so let's do this. I'm just going to quick like a bunny give this a cut for my inside, and I'm going to stamp something. I'm going to see what I want to stamp. There's my plate. I can smell something good in my kitchen. My husband's making spaghetti. I do like spaghetti. It's one of those things. It's really hard not to eat too much spaghetti, but I'm working on it. So there's my deckled rectangle. I can't tell you how excited I am about these deckled rectangles. They're just something a little bit more than just doing your average rectangle. Although I do like my stitched rectangles as well, but this just has a little more life. It's a little more exciting, and oh, there's people here that I don't know. You're here. If you're here, please say hello. Apparently there's 4 or 5 people in here, and 3 of you I know. But if you're here, say hello. Would you, what? I missed that. It went away too fast. More than your average bear. Yes, Kimmy. Yes, she was looking. Oh, hi, Debbie. Debbie's from the one-day retreat that we went to. Hi, nice to see you. Yes, she was looking for a sailboat, and I looked for that one for her, but it wasn't there. So, yeah. Who else have I missed? Let me take a second. Have I missed anyone else, Karen? Well, I'm so glad that you came to visit me, Debbie. This is my live. This is what I do at 4 o'clock most days. Not every day, but most days. And I was showing off earlier my cards that I made at retreat, actually. I don't know if everyone got to see them because a couple of you were late, but I was showing off my cards that I made at retreat, which I'm absolutely thrilled about. All right, so here's my card. Let's put this in the back. Now, I want to stamp something on here. What do I want to stamp on it? Maybe I just want to do a beer glass in the corner. I don't know. Don't know if that's going to do it. I've got sentiments, but I don't generally put sentiments inside a card. But what I could do is I could put this might be a bit big, this bottle of whatever it's a bottle of. How about we just do, yeah, let's just do the mug, and we'll offset it a little bit. So let's get a block. And some memento. Oh yes, I do too all the time. That's what the magic of Pinterest, right? I have to say that when I'm not doing anything else, I'm not very good at sitting doing nothing. So when there's nothing in my sewing room or my card room to do, I have been known to sit on Pinterest and collect ideas, because it's sometimes hard to get. I'm just going to set this down a little bit. I'm not going to have it on the whole thing because I don't want to take up that much space. Let's see what this looks like. We'll either like it or we'll really, really not like it. But I think that's okay. I think I'm good with that. Because other than that, there's sentiments, but I didn't really want to put a sentiment in there. And I don't want to mix my wine and my beer because you know what that is. Hangover City. So I don't want to mix that up. So I'm just going to have that little beer glass there. And let's pop that down onto the inside of the card. I was talking about how amazing that retreat was. I had such a good time. I would do that again in a heartbeat. It was so much fun, Debbie, wasn't it? There we go. Hey, I could put a little froth on it. Let's put a little froth on it. What the heck? Let's do that. That'll be cute. Let's do that. what's a beer without a froth on it? So I'm going to have to get my hair in the way here, otherwise I'm not going to get this on here very well. There we go. Yeah. Okay, I like that. That's cute. That is super cute. So that's a good card for darn near anything, right? So again, so I've got my card using the Brewed for You bundle, okay? And then this card I made using strictly the DSP, which is called He's the Man. It's amazing DSP. And the DSP, I don't know, have you seen this one? We do need one every weekend. Yes, please. Pick me, pick me. I'll go every weekend. So this great set of DSP, I'll show you again. I can pull it up here quickly. The suite is called He's All That. It's on page 79 of the catalog. And these papers are phenomenal. I absolutely love them. Who doesn't need masculine papers in their collection of things? But it's these stickers. It's these stickers that are amazing. They're not stickers. I keep saying stickers. Oh, okay. Hope to see you again, Debbie. I'm so glad you popped by. Like I said, they're not stickers. They're just punch outs, but they're just, I love them so much. I can't wait to experiment and use them on all different kinds of cards. But you know what? A little bit of DSP, look what you can make. A little bit of package of DSP and some cardstock. And there you go. There's a card, even without the whole stamp set arrangement. So I hope you enjoyed those cards. I haven't done the inside of this one yet, but I will. But I hope you enjoyed those cards. Again, you can catch me. I will post them shortly. You can catch my replay either here on Stampin' with Casey, or you can check me out on YouTube. I'm there too, as well as Instagram. So look at my mess. Isn't this something? I do make a mess. But you know what? I kind of like making the mess, and I also kind of like cleaning up the mess when I'm done. So it's just fun. It's just fun for me. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I will be back on again tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And we'll see what other kind of trouble I can get into. I might want to play with this this DSP again, because I've got some other cool ideas that you might like. Thank you, Dorothy. I will. You have a great evening too. So see you tomorrow, and everybody have a good night. Bye for now.